We are live. Chat. How's it going? Let's see if the YouTube redirect function is going to redirect people towards this channel. I'm doing a little bit of experimentation. And by the way, the title isn't false. The title is legit. We're going to be talking about it. But in the meantime, let's see if the redirect is working. So far, 28 people waiting. Let me refresh. Only 28 people watching, so the redirect is absolute bullshit. Did it work? Oh, are you guys getting redirected? Because that's what I want to know. YouTube has a new feature, which is a pain to set up. It's not like the Twitch raid system. The Twitch raid system is amazing. It's tsuyoi, very strong. The YouTube redirect, oh my fucking god. Like, you need to allow the person to redirect to you. You need to suck their cock and make absolutely sure that everything is set up, and you can only do it for an upcoming stream. Anyway, right. There is an article which I'm going to read. The title is not fake. It's legit. It's a very, very funny article, but I'm waiting for more people to get redirected. In the meantime, we can talk about the Twitter thing. I love the fact that apparently I still am capable of judging reality. Like, I've been gaslit for the past 2 years. Like, everything that I was saying ended up being true. When I said, oh, look, Twitter is suppressing people. Twitter is shadow banning. It's like, nah. Your content is just stale. You people are getting bored of your content. Well, I'm on Twitter right now. I gotta say, like, everything I post gets viral. Like, I can shit a post and it goes viral. Oh, my content must be exploding by that logic. Oh my god, I might have realized the renaissance. Hello, Stu. Welcome to the membership. Start the sub-hype train, Stu. What are all the hobos? The trolls eat hobo? No. The progressive city mayor usually puts spikes under bridges. It's actually a joke. The law is equitable. Rich and homeless people are not allowed to sleep under bridges. But anyway, right, what's wrong with homeless people sleeping under bridges? I don't understand, like, why the Americans are really peeved about that. It's like, okay, well, you got homeless people sleeping under, and, like, so what? Like, what's the problem? I mean, they don't want rain to fall on top of their head. Like, why? Whatever. So the redirect feature, I don't know if it worked, because I had 300 people on the previous premiere, and I only have 89 viewers here. I take it that the redirect feature worked for some, but not for all. Still, I don't know if I should use it in the future. I'll try to, but yes. So the thing at Twitter, I love the fact that they're literally commies, like they call themselves communists. But, like, from what they described, it wasn't actual communism, it was more like anarchy, like, do whatever the fuck you want. I just want to point out that if your job requires you to work 4 hours a day, you're probably not that useful as a person. Like, if you're an important person, you probably need to spend more than 4 hours at work, is what I'm saying. And I don't know, like from the way he was talking, it wasn't that he was a part-time worker. It was like he was a full-time worker, but he could only be asked to sit at the job for 4 hours. You know who does that, by the way? HR people. HR people, diversity officers, like, from every account that I have, like, they usually spend less than 4 hours at work. Thanks for changing the color of your thumbnails border. I don't understand this. Like, a lot of people were like, don't have red thumbnail borders because I can't see if I've seen the video or not. Like, how do you not know what videos you have seen or not? Like, that is a little bit bizarre. Like, I remember what videos I've seen. Don't make me feel like I have the memory of a supercomputer, because I don't think I do. But I noticed, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, V, I don't know if I have seen your video, so I need that little red line to tell me. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But It's just weird. Here's for the Gypsy Magic Fund, says Tonoshi. My own magic, I'm playing Sega games on my Nintendo. Does Nintendo have Sega games? I feel like there's a Sega console for that. Yeah, I know what the red line at the bottom is. It's just like, I don't need it. Like, I know if I've watched the video or not. I should make the borders bigger, though, yeah. That is a good point. Anyway, should we talk about the Disinformation Governance Board? I think we can talk about it. I think we got enough people now. Alright. Naruhodo. Let me just shut down Discord because I don't want people to interrupt our intimacy. Babu. How the Biden administration let right-wing attack derail its disinformation efforts. By Taylor Lorenz. Isn't this like the lady which Tim Pool had a spat with because she doxed the libs of TikTok? So Taylor Lorenz, from my understanding, is not a unbiased source. Like, she's a Democrat operative, right? Like, she actually tries to harass the opposition off of public platforms. A pause of the Department of Homeland Security newly created board. Homeland Security, isn't that like the people with guns that deal with terrorists and stuff? Homeland Security. Like, I thought those are the guys you call. Wait. What wasn't there like that TV show with the crazy lady that worked for the CIA? And she was like, at one point she started working for Homeland Security, like, because there was that American war hero that was captured by the Taliban, like he was indoctrinated, right? Wasn't that a TV show called Homeland? I mean, those look like dangerous motherfuckers, you know, like those look like the people that you call when America is in jeopardy. And these are the people that have funded the disinformation czar. That's interesting. You know, like, how did America manage to go through the Cold War without the disinformation czar? How did America manage to get to this point without having to go through people's mail, without having to go through people's phones, like bogging people's phones and listening in to private conversations? How did America manage to fight back misinformation? So anyway, a pause of the Department of Homeland Security newly created board comes after its head, Nina Yanukovych. Oh my god, I love her TikTok videos. Like, beautiful. The way she sings. Oh. What was the song that made her famous? The one where, I believe the lyric was like, who do I have to fuck to get rich? Like, that's just one of the videos. Like, there's many other videos that she released. And by the way, I love the fact that these people don't have any accountability. Like, okay, let's have a disinformation board. Fine. What if they falsely label something that's information and they falsely label as disinformation? Do they get fired? Probably not. But what if they miss? Like, what if there's a lot of disinformation going on and they just keep missing it? Do they get fired? Probably not. Can I have their job in that case? Like, I would love to have the job where it's like zero responsibility. She was the victim of coordinated online attacks. Oh my god. Oh, online attacks. See, oh. Man, how did the Ukrainians do it when the Russians attack for reals? Because they're able to fight back, okay? And that looks like some really bad shit. I'm really glad the Ukrainians aren't made of the same stock like these people. Because, like, if they can't handle online attacks, I don't know how they would defend the motherland against the Russian aggression. I mean, this is, like, a very interesting, new generation of Americans that are like, oh, I can't do my job. Why? Because online attacks. Like, turn that shit off. Turn that shit off. What are you doing? Turn it off. bet if they would have hired a 45-year-old woman, she could have dealt with the online attacks. Like, did you notice that? The younger they are, the less likely they are to handle the online attacks. How is Elon Musk handling his online attacks? It's another question. Did you look at his profile? Holy shit. How is Jordan Peterson able to handle his online attacks? What? Like, why don't you go and ask Jordan Peterson, like, what is his secret? How does he do it? Like, you should ask him to write a book. Like, you guys really need it. They're built differently. I don't know about that. Like, this is something else, okay? Like, let me show you, right? So, on the morning of April 27th, when the carnage of Sundaria happened and 5 of their talents also graduated, the Department of Homeland Security announced the creation of the first Disinformation Governance Board with the stated goal to coordinate countering misinformation related to Homeland Security. I am willing to bet that if the Republicans manage to win office and they get their hands on this board that would actually use it, like if DeSantis, for example, because DeSantis is someone that would actually do this shit, they would take the Disinformation Board and weaponize it against the Democrats. Oh my God. Like, all of a sudden, they would understand all the problems with this. They would be like, oh, fascismus. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is fascismus. Oh. But like, when is the Democrats using it? Oh, it's progressive. We need to safeguard our democracy, comrade. Tovarish. We need to safeguard our way of life. Without the Disinformation Board, we would fall into misinformation. Peterson just quit Twitter. Get the fuck out. I need to check it. Dude, there's no fucking way. Did Peterson? I will change my mind on him. I will call him weak personally if he left Twitter. He didn't leave Twitter. What the fuck are you talking? Why are you gaslighting me? Stop it! He did not leave Twitter. Jordan Peterson is still on Twitter. He did a dumb thing, but it's not dumb enough for him to leave. He said that a thick mamacita, a thick lady, is ugly. Look at this. Hold on, let me scroll down. See if I... Huh? I don't know where... Ah, here we go. Yeah. Jordan Peterson says that this is ugly. Jordan! You're getting old. You need glasses. This is thick. It is thick, Jordan. It is thick. It's a hot mamacita. If I wasn't married and she came up to me, Jordan, you know what I would say? I would say 8 out of 10 would smash. Fuck is wrong with you, Jordan? Tonushi for €5. The Democrats forget the maxim: never give yourself power you don't want your opponents to wield. Yeah, but like, they don't think they're going to have opponents. Like, maybe this is like why they keep doing that. 6 out of 10. Get the fuck out. It's an 8 out of 10. Dude, you would not say no to that mamacita. Okay? You would not say no. If she came up on a bar, if you find her on Tinder, you swipe right. That's what you fucking do, you know? Oh my God, oh, that mamacita is like, thick. That is the word, thick. Thunder ties, exactly, thunder ties. That's how I would call it. Thunder. Why are so many people wrong in the chat? I don't understand. It's like, are we going to have this conversation? Dude, that is not a fatty. You want a fatty? Like, I can show you some fatties, but like, after we go through this article. So anyway, yeah, I disagree with Jordan Peterson. I think that lady is perfectly fine. Okay, I don't understand why he's like, well, no, shut up, Jordan. You're old. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, with age, testosterone goes down. You don't really appreciate the beauty of nature like you did when you were young. So there's that. But okay. Dude, like, okay, you know what? Like, you guys, no, you're pissing me off. Let me just show you. All right, well, one more time, just so. I am so annoyed over this shit that like I will just have to prove you yet again that you're wrong. Okay. You're telling me, like you're telling me with a straight face. You're telling me with a straight face that this right here is an ugly woman? Like, is this what you're trying to tell me? Like, you're telling me that if this lady would appear on your Tinder profile, you'd swipe left. Get the fuck out. Dude, I don't believe you for a fucking second. I refuse to believe you. If you marry a woman and you know, like, during the marriage she becomes a little bit thicker and she looks like this, you'd say that your wife is now ugly, huh? Get the fuck out. I'm not zooming in just shit. Like, just cut that crap out. Oh, you'd smash but you wouldn't marry. Oh, no, okay, fine. Yeah, internet standards, I know. It's like, I got like so many women that my standards are so high. You know, unless she's like a 10 out of 10, very young, like at least 20 years old, and unless she's got like a yacht and is a doctor with PhD, I'm not smashing that. She's alright, but not get the fuck out. Let me see your mother. How about that? Let me see your mother. You know, maybe I should make a stream where you guys send me pictures of your mother and I get to decide whether or not they're hot. How about that? Huh? Are you guys interested? Are you man enough? Like, do you want us to go there? Like, show me pictures of your mother. I unironically want to see pictures of your mother, and then we can have a conversation about realistic beauty standards in 2022. I'm actually curious, like, which person is bad enough to show. Oh, yeah, your mother is fat. Oh, she's got chancla. I see. You don't smash that, she smashes it. How many of you have fat mothers? I'm now starting to see a trend. I am now starting to see a trend. Tell me how your mother hurt you, so I can understand why you don't really appreciate women that are... I wouldn't even say obese. That is not obese. That is like slightly overweight, like slightly pudgy. Your mom is dead. Okay, so what? Like, don't you have picture when she was alive? Entropic? What? Why are you telling me this? As if it's like a winning card, like you shifted 6 meta, and you're like, oh, my mom is dead. Dodo meta, I won. No, you didn't. You didn't win. I said that I want to see pictures of your mother so I can judge her attractiveness level. Surely you have some. I think we are being misdirected from the real conversations. Fatties can cook. Wifey material, like that. That is true. Like, my wife has gained a lot of chancla since she started cooking. Type 2 obese, I see. Who's the guy with the dead mother? I think I upset him. Entropic. Oh no, I didn't upset him. He LOL. It's in good fun, Entropic. I'm sorry about your loss, but I assume it happened a long time ago, so... That would have been, like, really bad if, like, my mother is dead. And I'm, like, saying, like, so what? Like, a picture. It's like, dude, she died yesterday. And I'm like, oh, fuck. That is, like, you know, like, why do you have to mention that your mom passed away when I was, like, asking the chat? Like, okay, if you are into that unfortunate circumstance where you do not have a mother, like, you don't have to self-identify. Anyway, right. Moving back. In naming the 33-year-old Jankovic to run newly created board, the administration chose someone with extensive experience in the field of disinformation. What the fuck is extensive experience in the field of disinformation? Like, when I went to university, I didn't find the disinformation uni where I could learn. But even that, like, notice how they don't talk about the fact that she considered the Hunter Biden laptop scandal to be disinformation. You know, like that thing which got banned from Twitter. Like, she considered that to be disinformation. She considered the PIS dossier to be legit, right? Like, notice how Miss Taylor Lorenz isn't bringing up any of that thing. It's almost like this is a very biased, one-sided article. It's almost like she's a Democrat operative, which has emerged as an urgent and important issue. The author of books, How to Be a Woman Online. How to Be a Woman Online. Where can I read about how to be a man online? What if I'm doing it wrong? You know, I really hate this like whole thing that like women have it hard online. And I can tell you why it's bullshit. Like, I can understand because of the difference in body strength that women could have it harder in real life, right? Because like a man can easily intimidate a woman because of the body strength, right? But on the fucking line, like, it doesn't make any difference if you're a man or a woman. Like, you have the fucking keyboard, you can clickety-clack at it. Like, that's all you need to do. Like, online, a 5-year-old and a 45-year-old muscle man really has the same power, right? Like, I can't, like, that's one of the things, like, that used to be a thing when the internet came up. Like, you could know that a guy could kick your ass because you would look at this picture and he looked like a muscular, steroid jack individual, and you could talk shit to him. Like, you could literally talk shit to him. You could say whatever the fuck you want, because he couldn't do anything against you, because it's online. We called it keyboard warriors, right? Like, at the keyboard, you were the powerful warrior. No one could do anything against you. So how the fuck is it like, oh, well, I'm a woman and it's hard being online? Please explain to me how. How is it more difficult being a woman than being a man online? Or being a kid, for that matter? Like, chill. Do you know the sass that kids give to adults on Xbox? Like, you hear it when you're playing Call of Duty, and the guy has like this tiny voice, and he gives you all the shit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, literally nothing. It's online. And people learn to ignore that. The moment I hear the lack of testosterone coming from a kid over Xbox, I mute them. Yeah, and this is like, again, the mentality is like how to be a woman online. Gets to be placed in a position where she can censor other people. Like, she doesn't even know how to censor people that are giving her criticisms. Like, all you have to do is like, oh my god, it's like people are attacking me online. Mute them. Mute them. Block. Mute. You get to feel like the Twitter Trust and Safety Council if you mute and block. It's so hard that women are accurately able to identify other women and harass them. Oh, well, yeah, obviously, because like a lot of the times, it's implied that if a woman is getting harassment online, it's coming from men, as if like women can't harass other women, as if we're like two factions waging war. Men get harassed by other men, women get harassed by other women. There are men who get harassed by women. I don't understand, like, why is this American way of thinking? That like harassment only comes one way. Within the small community of disinformation researchers, her work was well regarded. Yeah, well, it speaks volumes about those small community of researchers now, doesn't it? Again, like, I just want to remind people. She thought that the PIS dossier is real, and she also said that the Hunter Biden laptop scandal is fake. And yet, researchers claim that her work was well regarded. I'm just like, okay, so like their standards are very fucking low. I mean, maybe it's because of the small community aspect. Within hours of her news appointment, she was thrust into the spotlight by the very forces she decided to combat. What, like right-wingers? Like, I thought she's supposed to be objective. Yes, like, every single Republican said that this is a bad idea. Every single Democrat liked it. So, like, if she got criticism from the right, it means that she was there to combat the right. The board itself and the DHS received criticism for its ominous name and scant details about the mission. Yeah, you put the Homeland Security in a nation that's claiming to be a free nation. You're having, like, this, how should I even put it? Like, Ministry of Truth? That's literally in the name. The Ministry of fucking Truth. Like, who gets to decide what the truth is? Like, the way a democracy functions is that people get to discuss ideas, whether they're real or not, it doesn't fucking matter. But people get to talk them over, and then they get to choose which is the best option. You know, like, for example, when you buy a house, that's pretty much what you do with your family. Like, you get to decide between multiple houses. And of course, you know, that there are salesmen that are going to lie to you. They're going to say, oh, yeah, no, this house is definitely market value. Oh, like, the neighbors, oh, they're saints. No one died in this house, by the way. It never happens. But it's up to you to figure out whether the salesman is lying. Like, you don't get the misinformation czar to tell you, oh, no, don't buy this house. There was a murder 45 years ago in it. Like, no one tells you that. Right? So if people are capable enough to make difficult purchases, like invest in Luna and other shit, right? It's up to them. Like, imagine if you had the misinformation czar for when you invest in stocks and other things. And notice how this wasn't a thing even 5 years ago. Like, 5 years ago, no one was talking about misinformation. Yeah, sorry for being a little bit too precocious. I guess I was precocious. But anyway, she was on the receiving end on the harshest attacks. I am willing to bet she didn't get like a quarter of what Elon Musk is getting. I am willing to bet she didn't get a half of what Jordan Peterson is getting. With her role mischaracterized, she has become the primary target of the right-wing internet. Oh my god, no, not the right-wing internet. Anything but the right-wing internet. Oh, the right-wing internet is like, yeah. Like, look at this. Look how the article is written. Like, she was attacked by the same people she was targeting. Well, maybe that's the fucking problem, right? It's almost like if, let's say, DeSantis wins, and he names a person that's going to target the left-wing internet, and then we all go Pikachu face when the left-wing internet tries to defend itself. I don't even know, like, how you can write this article without having people laugh. Like, I'm willing to bet that the editor laughed at this article. Like, when they fact-checked it and they read it, they probably laughed a little bit. Now, just 3 weeks after its announcement, the Disinformation Governance Board is being paused. Let me guess, okay? The Disinformation Board claimed that the criticism against the Disinformation Board was disinformation. I am willing to bet this is what happened. I am willing to put money that this is what happened. Man, it is kind of sad. And by the way, like, the reason that it's probably getting paused, like, I don't think it's because, oh, people are complaining or whatnot. No, I think the reason it's being paused is that they realize, okay, well, elections are coming. And if the Republicans win, and they have access to this, it can fuck us over really bad. You know, like, we are the party that believe men can get pregnant. So maybe, just maybe, it's not such a good idea to have like a misinformation czar at this time. By the way, do you know what else I noticed? I noticed that ever since men could get pregnant, there's a shortage of baby formula. So I guess maybe men can get pregnant. I mean, you know, they didn't expect the baby boom explosion. Like, the supply of baby formula is was only taking into account that women can get pregnant. But now that men can get pregnant as well, there's just too much demand and not enough supply. Yes, men can get pregnant. Google it. Actually, you know, let me see if let me check. Yes, like okay. So this is a fresh page of Google. This is incognito mode, right? So none of my previous search results are going to influence this. Men can. Look here, you bigot. Look here. Okay, do you notice how many people are searching for this? Like it's in the suggested. Look, men can lactate. By the way, this is actually true. Like there is a tumor, which is very rare, but you can get it as a man, and you can lactate. I bet you didn't know that shit, but it's true. So men, yeah, like men can lactate. It is correct. But I do think that a lot of people are searching for this, right? Like a lot of people, probably millions of people, were searching whether or not men can lactate. So now it's on the suggested results. Men can't leave Ukraine. Yeah. What's women can do anything. Holy shit. You know what? I can tell you something they can't do. Handle criticism online, according to the disinformation czar. Which is kind of sad, because like Elon Musk can do it. Jordan Peterson can do it. Why can't the misinformation czar do it? What does Jordan Peterson have that she doesn't? We of the right should censor any disinformation, like abortion being okay. We need to stop blue and odd conspiracies, such as banning abortions means women have to get pregnant. This is misinformation, is dangerous to our democracy. Imagine if, seriously, like imagine if DeSantis won the elections and used the misinformation czar to actually censor that shit. Like, can you imagine the freak out? Now just 3 weeks after its announcement, the disinformation board is being paused. According to multiple employees at DHS, capping a back and forth week of decision that changed during the course of reporting of the story, the DHS tried to shut down the board. She then drafted her resignation letter in response to the board dissolution. By Tuesday night, she was pulled into an urgent... and by the way, I would like to remind people that this board happened when Elon Musk bought Twitter. Right? Like when he said that he's buying Twitter, this is when this disinformation board happened. And now that when the Elon Musk paused the deal with Twitter, the disinformation board is being dissolved. I'm just finding it very interesting, right? So he... It's a bit coincidental, right? I'm taking advantage of the disinformation czar resigning so I can say this. But I just found it peculiar that days after Elon Musk says he buys Twitter and he's going to make Twitter a free speech platform, the White House announces this. And only a couple of days after Elon Musk says he suspends the deal with Twitter because he thinks there's too many bots on the platform, then the disinformation czar forwards her resignation. I'm just, like noticing a couple of events here. I'm just saying, like, look, the timing is a little bit weird. But Tuesday night, she was pulled into an urgent call with officials, which gave her the choice to stay on, even as the department work was put on hold because of the backlash it faced. According to multiple people with knowledge of the call, working groups within DHS focused on mis, dis, and malinformation have been suspended. The board could still be shut down pending a review. Oh, are they waiting? Are they waiting for Elon Musk to say, all right, I'm going to buy Twitter anyway? Or is it going to say, you know what? Too many bots. I'm not buying it. Nina Yakovitz has been subjected to an unjust and vile personal attacks and physical attacks. Oh my God, on the internet, right? Just like Elon Musk. But I don't see you have concern. By the way, Miss Taylor Lorenz, do you know who else has been subjected to unjustified and vile personal attacks and physical threats? Libs of TikTok, which you doxed. Out of all the people to talk about unjustified, vile personal attacks and physical threats, you're probably the last person on the internet to say anything about it. There needs to be someone to talk about this, but not you. A DHA spokesperson told the Post in a statement, in a congressional hearing and in media interviews, the secretary has repeatedly defended her as eminently qualified and underscored the importance of the department's disinformation work. Yeah, unilateral, basically. Yakovic has not spoken publicly about her position since the day. Well, they're waiting. I'm honestly thinking about this. Like, if Elon Musk goes with the buyout and he buys Twitter, I think, like, she's going to get her position back. If Elon Musk says, no, I'm not buying Twitter, fuck this shit, then she's going to resign. Hopefully I'm wrong, but this is my opinion on what's going to happen. Djakovic's experience is a prime example of how the right-wing internet apparatus operates, where far-right influencers attempt to identify a target. This is coming from Taylor fucking Lorenz. Going after libs of TikTok. Doxing libs of TikTok. And she talks about how far-right influencers attempt to identify a target, present a narrative, and repeat me. Oh my fucking gosh, she's really describing her work at the Washington Compost. She's literally describing it. Those familiar with the board's inner workings, include DHS employees along with experts on disinformation, says that she was set up to fail by an administration that was unsure of its messaging and unprepared to counterattack a coordinated online campaign against her. I'm just like, I wonder if Taylor Lorenz is actually a woman and she's not a man, because the balls on her. Like, she probably has balls bigger than mine. I am jealous, to be honest. I am jealous of her balls. To be able to, like, a couple of weeks ago, dox someone on Twitter, cause that person to suffer many attacks. Like, you're harassing that person at her home, doxing her family home. She even doxed by accident someone else. And now she's talking about online bullying of women. Okay. Whatever. A disastrous rollout. Just hours after Yakovic tweeted about her new job, far-right influence, Mr. Postbiek, posted tweets accusing the Biden administration of creating a Ministry of Truth. His 1.7 million followers quickly sprung into action. By the end of the day, there were posts on Twitter mentioning Disinformation Governance Board, many referencing Djakovic's name. We're talking about this while judges from the Supreme Court have protesters outside their homes and being issued threats online and offline. Alright? Judges from the Supreme Courts are getting harassed in real life and online, and you want me to clutch my pearls because Mr. Posobiec had like 53,000 posts sent to. How detached from reality must you be to like expect people to care about this shit at this point? We of DHS reserve the right to only censor misinformation that goes against our narratives. So we will wait for Elon to buy Twitter, then mobilize. Probably. Not to mention, like, she doesn't even mention, like look how sneezy this is, right? So Sobiek apparently says that Biden administration is creating a Ministry of Truth. And then there were 53,000 posts mentioning Disinformation Governance Board. Okay, but like, how many of them were harmful? Like, you don't mention, right? Like, she talks about how, oh, well, there's like there's threats and blah, blah, blah. Like, if I were to post, I do not like the fact that Biden has created the Ministry of Truth, right? Like, if I was to post that, I would probably be cataloged under these 53,000 posts, which she tries to create the illusion that all of them were harmful or something. Like, what the fuck do you want? Like, you're literally saying in your article that she was hired to fuck the right. Like, literally that. Like, she was there to suppress right-wingers. That's what you're saying. And then you're complaining that right-wingers don't want to be suppressed? Are you Pikachu facing or what? The board was created to study best practices in combating the harmful effects. Unlike the Ministry of Truth in George Orwell that became a derogatory comparison point, neither the board nor Djakovich had any power or ability to declare what is true or false, or compel internet providers, social media platforms, or public schools to take action. Okay, first of all, this is called hyperbole. Journalist. Like, do you understand how the English language works? Journalist. Obviously, you know, it's like when you have like the don't say gay bill, Like, the bill doesn't actually mention any of that, but, like, it's hyperbole. It's a metaphor. Hyperbole, right? So it's the same thing here. Like, the Ministry of Truth is a hyperbole. And then you're like, oh, well, it doesn't have any power to limit free speech. You know what? Look at the history of the CDC. Like, the CDC doesn't have the power to issue a moratorium which allows for people to live in rent without paying rent. Alright? Like, the CDC doesn't have that power. It did it fucking anyway, didn't it? Like, the CDC was initially created to just gather and research about best practices to combat diseases. It didn't have any authoritarian power. Right? It didn't have, like, the power to pass legislation or moratoriums like that. But it did, didn't it? Oh, so do you think, like, people don't have a right to be concerned with this shit? Like, if the government tells a social media company, like, we want you to remove that, even though, like, they don't have the power to enforce it, do you not think that the social media company might feel pressured? Because then they would be like, okay, well, if we don't do it, maybe the government can fuck with us in other ways. Like, for example, how Ron DeSantis has decided to fuck with Disney. Haha. Right? Like, Ron DeSantis doesn't have the power to tell Disney to shut the fuck up. But it was heavily implied that Disney should, and because Disney didn't shut the fuck up, Ron DeSantis took away its privileges. Haha. So it's kind of the same, right? Like, the concept of soft power exists. Like, you don't actually need to have de facto power to fuck with someone. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, tons of government agencies do shit beyond what is permitted. Isn't the left constantly crying about the police, like, abusing its powers and doing more? Like, so like, what, you think it's like only the police does that? The board purpose has been grossly mischaracterized. It will not police speech. Oh, get the fuck out. Quite the opposite. It's to focus to ensure that freedom of speech is protected. Yeah. You know what? The more you say about it, the more I think that the Ministry of Truth is quite accurate. You know? Freedom is slavery. What is peace? Oh yeah, we're going to have more free speech by banning shit. We're going to be more inclusive by kicking people out from the community. Sobiek earlier tweets shaped the narrative, and Yakovlevich was positioned as the primary target. Republican lawmakers echoed... Oh, so it's not an online campaign. It's not an online campaign. You have the representatives of the people, lawmakers, echoed Sobiek's framing. Yeah, echoed reality. That's what they did. Like, do you think that if Sobiek comes to the conclusion that 2 + 2 = 4, and I arrive at the same conclusion, does that mean that he influenced me? Or is it just like, maybe this is reality? Kore wa genjutsu desu. The week following the announcement, approximately 70% of Fox News' 1-hour segment mentioned either Jankowicz or the board, with correspondents frequently deriding the board as the Ministry of Truth. Fucking good. Like, why is this a bad thing? Look at this. The Fox News coverage was referenced in some of the most popular posts on Facebook. Do you know why? Because people resonated with the coverage. Yeah, like, it's un-American to have someone deciding what is truth and what isn't. They didn't do it during the Cold War. You know what? No, like, the only time that Americans decided to have, like, a ministry of censorship was during World Wars. Like, World War I and World War II. That is literally the only time that the United States decided, yeah, because we're in an actual war, we're going to have to censor people. So that did happen. You know, like the crying fire in a crowded theater, that was during World War I, where you couldn't criticize the government and its desire to involve itself in the war. But other than that, America is a free country. Like, in order to be free, you have to allow people to behave like adults, right? Adults do not need a chaperone when they're talking. I mean, just so you can understand, like, the bullshit that this lady was asking, right? She wanted blue check marks to be able to, quote-unquote, provide context. So if I were to say, like, I want to fuck your mother, a blue check mark would be there and would be like, due to the distance between V and the targeted demographic, it is unlikely that he is going to fuck someone's mom because his dick is not big enough to cross state lines. The censorship started before the wars. From my information, it didn't. I don't know. Maybe it did. But I do think like the name of the organization was literally like the censorship committee or something similar. I wonder if wartime censorship would work with today's level of technology. Oh, absolutely. Like if it was an actual world war, and we're talking about like America's existence as a superpower was at stake, I mean, at that point, they would just take down social media. Like, they could literally just cancel the internet. If it was something so important that they needed to control the information, they would definitely do it. And people would understand, by the way. Like, if we're talking about, like, a world war, like World War III or something like that, right? People would definitely understand why it's being done. So I don't think like they would have any difficulty implementing censorship even today. Dozens of websites, including Breitbart, Post-Millennial, Died, okay, so all right-wing press, all right-wing commentators didn't like the fact that there's now a person that's going to suppress them. Some were simply mocking, making fun of her, parodying a song from Mary Poppins to talk about misinformation. Yeah, it's called immature. If Donald Trump was singing Mary Poppins, you'd be the first to criticize him. Shut the fuck up with this idea. It's like, oh, well, you know, right-wingers, they don't appreciate... Yeah, literally the administration that had the motto, the adults are back in charge, are putting a person that sings Mary Poppins. I'm just, you know, questioning the... Why is it that you're not going to debunk the Democrats when they said the adults are back in charge? Considering that they literally cannot name what a woman is, and they also have, like, a person singing Mary Poppins. Children's songs. And it was a very cringe performance as well, by the way. She sings a popular musical theater song about a person's desire to become rich and powerful. And it was misrepresented to imply that Jacobi herself was after body. Oh my god, like, no, please tell me. Please tell me that the press didn't try to slander her the same way you tried to slander Libs of TikTok. No, like Libs of TikTok is bad. We can slander them, but like not our Ministry of Truth. No, like do not slander our Ministry of Truth. Fucking crap. Man, it's so interesting to see the same person do a puff piece and then do a garbage piece. You don't wish your arms were as furry as mine, okay? And by the way, I just, like, can anyone explain why this happened to me today? I got a question, right? Like, this didn't happen before I became a VTuber. Like, this is something completely brand new. I mean... Let me see if I can get that quote, which I got. Alright. Can anyone explain to me why this happens? Dragon20, Furry Yif, and is following me. Why is Dragon20, Furry Yif following me? I don't understand. Like, is it the VTube avatar that's attracting this type of crowd? You know, even before I'm trash talking him, but then I find out that he's like an amazing artist that draws for like $5,000 a commission. And he's like, oh, V, I really like your channel, you know, like, and your hot takes on Twitter. I wanted to do some fan art for you. Yeah. Democratic lawmakers, legislative staff, and other administration employees who sought to defend her were caught flat-footed. It's undefensible, okay? If Trump did that, everyone knows that people would get upset. Even right-wingers would say, okay, Trump, that's a little bit too much. You can't have a Ministry of Truth. Like, this is America, okay? Even if it's legal, like, even if you have something legal, it's not in the spirit. It's not in the American spirit. We don't do that shit. Okay, that's some Soviet-type bullshit. That is like what China does. That's North Korean garbage. We don't do that. We don't have ministries that decide what is truth and what isn't. No, it's not my old crowd. I don't know that person. Administration officials did not brief the relevant congressional staff and committee ahead of the board's launch. A fact sheet released by DHS on May the 2nd did nothing to quell the outrage. Dude, like, I just want to point out, this is not, you know, like what she misses? It's not that Just America was considering this to be a scandal. I had news in Romania mocking this. Like, the Romanian press, Antenna 3, so the third anthem, the third antenna, if you will. It's a CNN-affiliated news outlet in Romania. They were mocking this. Like, they couldn't believe that the United States is doing this. This is like some next-level Big Brother shit. Like, everyone was disavowing in Eastern Europe as well. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking about it because, like, there's nothing else to add. But it's interesting because this is like the same journalist that I want people to remember is attacked libs of TikTok. Like, they doxed the person and then they sent a hate mob after them. They went to their relative's house trying to intimidate and blackmail. Like, that was fine, right? Alright, I'll probably end the stream a little bit early, but I'll leave you in good hands. I'll leave you in good company. I'll leave you with Uni Luna. So let me just give you a link. If you want to watch something after this, I can't redirect you to her because she's on Twitch. Why do people stream on Twitch? Alright, let's see. Why are VTubers stealing my shit, my shtick? Like, I'm the one that puts news articles and talks about them, okay? Like, VTubers, you guys play video games and sing karaoke. Why are you stealing my shtick? Like, why are you taking news articles and doing what I do? Are you trying to muscle me out of a business? Don't say that! It's going to demonetize the video. Fuck! Why are VTubers talking about it? Oh my god, VTubers are shitting on Amber Heard. Oh my god. Oh. Dude, imagine having VTubers shitting on you. Like, this is a... God. Guys, if I ever get bullied by a VTuber, I'm hanging my career out. Like, if I ever have, like, a VTuber calling out, like, this bitch has been lying at my face, I'll be like, Jesus, okay, time to quit the internet. Up. That's her internet. That's actually true. It's like the makeup company didn't have to do anything, but the makeup company itself came out having listened to the trial. It's like, no, you're lying. This is why it's easier to just not tell lies, chat. If you don't lie, you're not gonna get fucked. She got debunked. while your internet is crashing.
It's easier to be a normal person, I know, right? This is why it's easier to not let your ego control your every action, your every decision. What's the okay, Amber Heard pledge versus donate. Hold on, I want to show you guys this one. Is perjury a crime in civil case law or only in criminal court? I don't know. I thought lying under oath in general gets you in trouble.
You would think. The problem with lying under oath is that it's very difficult to prove. Because lying means that you know what you're saying is false, but the person can just say, well, I remembered it differently. Right? So now it needs to be like an entirely new trial that tries to prove if you actually did know or not. So yeah, it's very difficult to catch people lying under oath.
X, Y, Z. I'm at least a wireless celebrity, alright? Listen, I'm Twitch partner. I am at least a wireless celebrity, alright? Z-list celebrities are like
Oh yeah, she's absolutely hilarious.
0 views, right?
You should go and follow her.
At least wireless.
Click the link that I pinned on top, and you can go on her stream and follow her.
Yeah! Fuck! Hold on. What's that? Oh.
Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million donated. Not
Donated.
Donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They do the same thing.
Miss Heard.
They do not! Oh, I just noticed. These things. They do not mean the same thing, chat. They do not mean the same thing. Ah.
I don't use it synonymously.
Our donations are paid.
Miss Heard, respectfully.
Lol, hearsay, follow. You know, like, from now on, when you see the media go like, so we heard from a guy that heard from another guy that DeSantis did blah, 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 you should just respond with hearsay.
Abused by Johnny, so she's caught. Ah! What the hell? It's not. Stop punching me! Ah! Stop it! So if she's caught lying on trial, it just goes against her. Since her character comes into question, the more she gets caught in the lie, the more she gets screwed.
Are these the people that I send that keep throwing stuff at her? Because, like, our community usually does it. If you watch her stream long enough, you get the nectar, and you can use the nectar in order to throw stuff at her.
Fulfill those obligations yet.
Johnny divorced her. She said she would donate $7 million to charity. She said she had somebody write an article saying that she did donate all of her money to charity that she got from the divorce settlement. And now she's saying, oh, I pledged it. Thank her, take him to follow. Blood dragon, take him to follow.
And that's because
Spam her with follow, guys. Nah, Chank, you're wrong.
Not donated. Why risk the trouble? She's loaded in without.
That-
I know, right?
That's dangerous misinformation, Chank.
I was with him.
you wanted praise for donating the money.
She did.
That's incorrect.
You wanted good press.
An article that was vetted by the ACLU, who was one of the groups she didn't get money to.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I didn't follow the whole thing.
It does want good press, yes.
You wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name.
She is such a fucking liar. Chat, I don't believe for a fucking moment. Alright, listen, chat. We all want to look good in public, chat. We all want to look good in public. Listen, chat. Listen. Fallen King, thank you for the phone. We all want to look good in public. Especially people in like positions of like being in like the spotlight and stuff, you know?
Smash the state.
Thank you for the phone. We want to be seen as like good people, right? We want to be seen as good people. And that's just in general, right? And some people, you know, you might not be like, oh yeah, I donated just recently. You know, you might not be like, oh yeah, just recently I made a donation, right? But you still, like, when people are like, oh yeah, have you ever donated? You're not gonna be like, well, that's the you could say. You'll be like, fuck yeah, I've donated, right? Fuck yeah, right? But in her case, center of attention. You know, she's making up these fucking articles, having people write all these articles about her, sending out these fucking press releases and stuff. And she's like, oh no, I don't want anybody. I don't want the fame. I don't need anybody to know. I don't need anybody to know. I'm just very altruistic. I just love victims of abuse. I'm just doing the right thing.
I just want to say that Yuri scares the living shit out of me. Like, the way she bullies people, it's kind of savage. Like, I hope I never get on the receiving end of that.
She's just humble. She's not humble. Humble people don't have people go and write articles about them. Henry James up there, thank you for the follow. Murphy, Chink, South Hame, Smash the State, and Fallen King, thank you for the follow.
I'm starting to think that you guys are trying to protect Amber by following to Yuri and constantly interrupting her rants.
Being called a liar and my motives were being questioned. I did see it as important to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make sure that there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and had more publicity reach.
You wanted to remind everyone of your claims of domestic violence against Mr. Depp, right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You just said you wanted to make a statement! You just said you wanted to make a statement and now you're like, I just wanted to move on. I'm just so tired, everybody.
Yuri, she's traumatized, okay? Cut the woman some slack. Look, she's on the bench. People are asking her questions. She's not used to this. She's being vulnerable, Yuri.
He's the one who ended up losing jobs and stuff, and I'm the one who came out looking like a poor innocent victim, but it's all Johnny. It's all Johnny.
Fucking guy.
So I had to set the record straight, but I don't actually
Go on Twitch, Puzzle, because I'll be ending the stream in like 5 or 10 minutes. So you guys, if you want more entertainment, click the link. Click the link and sub to her, because I'm going to end the stream soon. This is why I'm here. Like, I'm not just stream sniping her. I'm trying to redirect you to other entertainment.
That's why I had an article written about how I was a domestic violence survivor.
That quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, and
Last
didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions.
Yeah, I do have to say, Yuri is a far better actor than Amber, though.
After.
You're much
You
better at
testified
it.
under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That's
That
what
is
she
correct. I pledged the entirety.
That's what she fucking said, Jen. That's what she fucking said. She said, she testified on her own, Bill, that she donated the $7 million to charity.
I'm gonna move to strike everything after yes.
All right.
No. Ms. Heard, this is really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the.
This is not like an argument of semantics, right? The kids say they're gonna follow the lesson. But like it literally is like they're arguing over a word, right? They're arguing over a word. But that's like being like, no, I did not. This is like the same fucking thing she did earlier. I did not punch him. I hit him.
I did not punch you.
You still committed assault, you crazy bitch!
Ooh, can you say that on Twitch?
Yeah, they can give a follow.
Can you say that on Twitch?
Oh my god. It's just fucking whacker, man. It's fucking whacker. She's like, yes, I donated. I pledged. It's like, no, those two words don't mean the same fucking thing. Those words do not mean the same fucking thing. Skunky, think of the follow. Like, she thinks if she phrases it differently, it will change the outcome of her testimony. Well, you fucking lied, man. I didn't punch him. I cut off his finger. I just lit a match. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. I didn't commit arson. I just lit a match. What?
Alright.
Stab him. I inserted a knife.
Didn't stab him, I inserted the knife. Okay, link is into the description if you guys want to go there, because I'm going to end this now. I had a lot of fun. Oh, I got 2 more super chats to read. Hold on. I almost forgot about them. V's VTube stream is just watching other VTubers. You know, I should make a habit of this. I actually just wanted to stream snipe for a couple of minutes. I didn't know she was doing the Amber Heard thing. The only freedom the left cares about is their freedom to spread their ideology, to bully others, and to get their way. Yeah, but they do it in such a manner that it makes it sound like you're the bad guy. Hello from a half an hour in the past. By the way, Pearson is right. Thunder Ties by Woody Dice. Dude, I don't believe you. If you find that lady on Twitter and she slips into your DMs, you would talk to her? I don't think that you'd be like, oh my god, oh, this is so awful. Anyway, right. Hopefully you guys will follow the owl, and I'll see you guys there, because I'm going to